Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Great, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. So first of all, let's talk about the keto diet or keto lifestyle, because I think lifestyle is a better term for this diet. So what is it? People might not know about that.
Right, so essentially it's a low carb, high fat diet. Most of it consists of, like the breakdown for numbers could be 70% fats, 30% protein, and then 10% carbohydrates. But then obviously those numbers might sort of fluctuate depending upon, your unique body type. So those might be 60, 20, 30, or whatever the numbers add up to when you get to 100%. But essentially it's cutting out the carbs. So essentially, like if you were eating French fries, you would not have French fries, you'd have a side salad instead. Or instead of a bun with a burger, you would essentially just wrap it in lettuce, so it would basically be protein style. So that's kind of the essentials of what the ketogenic diet is.
I'm sure a lot of people are probably panicking right now because they think that they won't be able to eat their favorite food. For example, as you said, burgers or desserts. So how do you do this lifestyle if you like carbs, if you have lived your life on carbs?
I essentially say it's in moderation. So sometimes people will eat past their when they're full. So with this diet, kind of you'll feel fuller a lot quicker. So essentially, the types of foods that you eat, you'll be fuller a lot quicker. So like for me, for example, I only eat maybe 2 to 3 times a day, and then snacks every so often, and I'll go maybe 4 to 5 hours without being hungry at all. So it's essentially reprogramming your metabolism in your body. And then also, kind of the hunger levels are kind of decreased, so to speak, depending upon, your unique body type and also the foods that you're containing.
Այսինքն Ստիվենը մեզ պատմում է, թե իրականում ինչքան հեշտ է այս ապրելակերպին հետևելը, քանի որ մոտավորապես սննդակարգի 70%-ը բաղկացած է ճարպերից, սակայն առողջ ճարպերից։ Մենք երբեմն վախենում ենք մտածելով, որ ճարպերը մեզ կարող են գերացնել, իսկ ընդամենը 10%-ն են կազմում ածխաջրերը, դրանք են օրինակ հատիկեղենը, հացեղենը եւ այլն, եւ մենք կարելի ասել ամբողջությամբ զերծ ենք մնում դրանց օգտագործումից։ Սակայն տեսնենք, թե ինչ ճարպեր կարելի է օգտագործել եւ չվախենալ։ So Stephen, people are usually afraid of fats. They think that fats will make them fat, but that's not right.
Right.
So what are the healthy fats, and is it okay to sometimes eat not that healthy fats, like bacon, if that's considered not healthy?
Right, so the first question with the fats, essentially a lot of them should be avocados, nuts, cheese, kind of the whole thing. So like almonds, walnuts, pecans, and then like I said, avocados and cheese, like pepper jack cheese, mozzarella cheese. Those are kind of the basics.
So cheese are okay. People are kind of iffy about cheese.
Cheeses are good. They have lots of probiotics and gut microbial bacteria that are good for you, essentially. Or like you said, fats have kind of been demonized a little bit, but I think that people are kind of understanding that these are the types of good fats. You have like the good fats, but then you also have the bad fats. And then going to your bacon question, like I said, again, moderation, essentially, I know that bacon kind of have a lot of like sodium. So essentially I wouldn't be eating it maybe every day, maybe like once or twice a week, maybe even consider it a treat, so to speak. But, essentially a lot of it is going to contain, like I said, the good fats and then avocados and nuts and cheeses as well.
Great. So tell me about your blogging life. So when did you start blogging and putting out your recipes online? Because we see a lot of beautiful recipes on Instagram, and I would suggest actually our viewers can see your recipes as well. How did you start doing this, and what keeps you going?
Right, so I kind of just first started it about a year to a year and a half ago, and it was just kind of just taking pictures casually, like, oh, I wonder what people would like it, or if they would comment, and then essentially just kind of started gaining traction, and people were asking me for recipes. And I'm thinking, I didn't really have any recipes. I don't have anything that's like put together. So I figured I'd just take the next step and then get a website and then basically posting the recipes on the website so people can kind of look at them and then make them on their own. And just, all of it was really based upon just showing people that it's easy to be healthy and that, it doesn't have to be something that's challenging or difficult, and that, it's more than just a diet, like I said. It's a lifestyle that people can really embrace and grasp and really, change, whether it be for dramatic weight loss or even just, that's one of the biggest pulls of the diet right now in the lifestyle, but also just your energy levels are increased, like I mentioned earlier. It's just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like it's like
great.
it's an extraterrestrial feeling. It's just something that when you're hooked, and when you're if you go all into it, you're gonna get everything that you put in back out to you.
I'm actually going to try this by myself, and for me the hardest part, as I said, is desserts. I love desserts, I love sweets, but we are going to make something that can actually be as a dessert and as a treat, but
Right.
it's also a keto friendly. So if we're on the maintenance level, we can devour this and still not feel guilty. So let's see, what are we going to make today?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna make a blueberry smoothie, and we're gonna start with our blueberries right here. So get you started on it.
So what kind of blueberries do you usually choose? Do they have to be organic, or it doesn't matter?
I choose organic, but I mean, it's to each his own. Obviously, if whatever you have available to you, obviously the best ingredients possible. But essentially, you want the whole, clean, untouched, whatever.
The whole foods. So also, what other berries can we use instead of?
You can also use raspberries, which you can see here as well. If you can even have blackberries, strawberries, but again, like I said, in moderation. So when you're full, you're full. Don't eat past the full point. But yeah, those are some of the other options you might have for berries.
Great. So we're adding berries first.
Right. So we're gonna add basically 1 cup of blueberries.
Okay.
Into there. And then we're going to get about a cup of almond milk here.
So do you usually use almond milk, or we can use coconut, or just a normal?
Right, you could use almond milk, coconut milk. I think I'm actually lactose intolerant, so that's probably why I'm a little more adjusted to the actual, coconut, or whether you said almond milk as well.
So you don't need cheese, or cheese is different?
It's strange. So I think that the whole milk is something that I kind of like, my body will digest it, but then I'll get a little bit like,
Bloated.
congestion. Yeah, a little bit like that. But then, when it comes to cream cheese and heavy whipping cream, things like that, I seem to just
like it.
I don't know. It's just my body's a machine. I don't know.
Cool. Everyone is different. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then we are adding the cream cheese, I
Correct.
guess?
Yeah, we'll add the cream cheese to that.
Okay, and it's a half package of the cream
Correct.
cheese?
So this is about 3 to 4 ounces, but again, depending upon how much or how little you want to eat on that, you can obviously adjust that accordingly.
And it's very, very easy. We can do this in the morning. It's a good breakfast, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what else?
And then we're going to add our heavy whipping cream.
It's fatty. It
Very
doesn't
fatty,
have a lot of carbs. And do you think that it's good to actually weight your food when you eat, or you can do it just unconsciously, or what do you think?
I think it's to each his own. Like I said, it depends upon if you want to track your carbohydrates and kind of the intake of what you're doing, by all means do that. I never really found a use, basically it never really kind of like transitioned into my lifestyle. For me personally, it was just, subconsciously knowing, okay, what am I been eating throughout the day? Do I need to get some more greens? Do I need some more fats? Do I need some more protein? And then kind of adjusting everything accordingly.
Right, so don't just panic, just relax and understand that what food are healthy for you and are good for this lifestyle that you're living.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. And do we need any sugar? Or
you can optionally, if you'd like, we can add a little bit of vanilla extract, but a little more light. That's all right, no worries.
It's okay.
But yeah, you can if you want, also stevia, but I found that just, as is, but as I said, the extract is kind of optional if you want, if you have a little bit of a sweet tooth, but it's completely mandatory like I mentioned.
But it's gonna still taste sweet because
right,
of the
it will
berries.
actually, yeah.
Oh, okay, so let's see. And do you suggest to refrigerate after making it, or it's better you can eat it right away?
You can eat it right away. What I do actually is for meal prep on the weekends, I will make, a giant thing of this essentially with all of the berries. I usually do a lot of frozen berries and then add all these ingredients you see here as well. And then afterwards, I will essentially put them in little mason jars and they keep throughout the week. So I can just, for lunch, if I need something, I can just grab it on the go. It's very easy, very portable.
And it can be considered as an ice cream as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If you wanted to put this in the freezer, you could more than happily take a spoonful and then just ice cream for treat later. So it's very versatile.
Blend it
All
to
right,
see how
here we
it
go.
turns out. Okay. And how long do we need to blend it?
You can do it for about 60 seconds or less. Obviously, if you have a higher powered blender, you can obviously 10 seconds, boom, it's done.
And ready.
Yeah.
Great. The color is amazing. I'm sure it tastes very good. So we can refrigerate. We can eat it right away, and it's very healthy. So let's see how it looks in the display. Yes. During the commercial break, I'm gonna just have that in my belly. So thank you so much, Stephan.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Do you want to taste?
Sure.
Good?
It's perfect.
Great. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Absolutely.
Շնորհակալություն իհարկե նաև ձեզ, Ստիվենին եւ մեզ վստահելու համար։ Արդեն կհանդիպենք կարճատև գովազդային դադարից հետո, քանի որ ունենք էլ ավելի հետաքրքիր նորություններ։